Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain Free You. So, decisions. I'll explain what the heck I'm talking about in a minute. Hope everybody's doing well. Cicadas are gone. Nice quiet night. Sun's about to go down. So, the topic for today. Decisions. You're probably sitting there going, what decisions, Dan? What decisions? So, there's a couple of them. First of all is make a decision that you're going to learn as much as you can about how this system called the human body and brain works. Because without that knowledge, that underpinning knowledge, you're not going to understand any of it. So learn. That's your first decision. I'm going to learn as much as I can. That does not mean you've got to read 14 to 15 to 20 TMS books or psychology books or neuroscience books. It means you have to understand the core basics of what's going on. What causes symptoms, right? That's your starting point. Now, second decision to make is once you've learned to, or decided to learn, it's learning about this thing called TMS. That's Sarno's term for it. I'm trying to lean people towards looking at it under the view and the umbrella of perceived danger symptoms, pain or other symptoms. So learn about it. Do you understand what causes symptoms? Perceived danger does, right? Now here's the next decision which you really need to make. Does perceived danger, pain or symptoms, does that apply to me? Is that what's going on with me? You got to make that decision. Because as long as you're like, I don't know, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. What if it's physical? What if it's, TMS? I don't really know what it is, right? You got to make a decision. Without that clarity, it's going to be really, really tough to teach your brain to turn off the symptoms. Because as long as you think, well, it might be physical, I think it's both. Yeah, what if I got physical and TMS? Oh, no. And I've heard doctors say that type of thing to people, and it drives me nuts. They're supposedly TMS doctors, and yet they tell people, you're a hybrid. No, you either got TMS and your brain's creating the symptoms, or you've got structural problems. If you've got structural problems, but the TMS tests come out to say it's TMS, then your brain's creating the symptoms. It's not your body. All right, make a decision. Yes, this stuff applies to me. Perceived danger pain, perceived danger symptoms applies to me. And it also goes for mental health things. Things like anxiety, depression, OCD, all those things are also responses from a brain perceiving danger. So, is there a cure? Yes, make a decision to recognize, yep, there's a lot of people getting better with my approach, with other TMS mind-body approaches, but there is a cure. And now here's a big decision you want to make. Am I capable of implementing this proven cure? You got to make that decision. Some people are like, well, will my confidence in being able to do this get better over time? Sure it will. Do you have to wait until your confidence level is full before you can move forward? No. I encourage you to make a commitment, a decision. I'm going to do this no matter what. I got this. I'm a smart person. I can figure this out. There's people who've done it before me. I can learn from them. I can learn from Dan. I can learn from other mind-body people. But I can and I will do this. That decision and commitment to yourself. I can do this. You got to make that decision, folks. Right? And now I just walked through the 4 fundamentals that I teach that are, in my opinion, required Not nice to have, but required to have in order to recover from this mind-body stuff. What's going on? What causes symptoms? Does it apply to me? Is there a solution? Am I capable of it? Right? So what other decisions are you going to make for yourself? Make a decision for yourself that you're going to implement. You're going to put this stuff into play. Make a decision that if you notice yourself falling into fear and freaking out, make a decision to pull yourself out quicker. Notice it and stop it. Notice it and make a decision to reassure yourself, no, it's okay. But Dan, that's so tiring. I'd be doing that all day. Yeah, well, you're freaking out all day, so that's no less tiring, unless you prefer that. But that's not the way to go. So make a decision to respond to your symptoms by freaking out less, moving into calm reassurance. At a certain point in time, when it feels right, you're going to be able to make the decision to say, I don't care. Symptoms are there, but I don't care anymore. And I see that's the natural progression. People go from freaking out, deep in fear, to ability to reassure themselves more and more, freaking out less. And then eventually, they're so confident that they're like, yeah, the symptoms are there, but I don't care because I know it's temporary. And I know I'm on the right path. And I'm committed to it, right? I've made that decision and commitment to myself. So make a decision. Here's another decision to make. Make a decision to allow yourself to feel emotions without judgment. Here's another decision. Make a decision that if you have symptoms, you're not going to start, spending the next 14 days looking for why. No. If it's obvious, it's there. But if it's not obvious, I don't need to know why. You know why? Because the main reason for symptoms is brain's perceiving danger. That's the only answer to the why question you need. You don't have to figure out the trigger, because if you do, then all you're going to have is a list of triggers that you have to avoid forever. No, we don't want to look for triggers and list them and avoid them from this point forward, because if you do, you might end up in the bed and not going anywhere else. And I've seen people do that. I've seen people come back from that too. So, what other decisions do we want to make? Make a decision to make living your life more important than fixing your life. Make a decision that I'm not broken, not mentally, physically, or emotionally. Make that decision. Commit to yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm really not broken. I'm okay. I'm really okay already. Actually, I'm damn good. I'm good. I'm damn good. I can do this. Hand on the heart. Say that to yourself in the mirror. I'm good. I'm damn good. I can do this. Right? It's a decision. It's a commitment you make to yourself. Here's a decision. Stop beating yourself up. Make a decision. I am no longer going to beat myself up. Because with a lot of the people in this space, they treat themselves worse than they would ever treat any other human being. They pick on themselves, they judge themselves, they criticize themselves. They do it over and over and over again. Is that helpful to recovery? Not at all. Not at all. Why? Because the brain perceives being picked on and criticized as danger. It's going to keep you in that highly alert status. So you see where I'm going with this, folks? There's a lot of decisions that we need to make here. To learn. To decide if this applies to me. Yes, it does. Is there a cure? Yes, believe it. Other people are getting better. There's a cure. It means you can do it too. Am I capable of it? Yes. I'm going to decide to feel my emotions. I'm going to decide to relax my body. So that sends a direct message of safety to my brain. I'm going to decide not to take my own thoughts so darn seriously. I'm going to decide to respond to my symptoms as if they're not that important. oh, isn't that interesting? Look what my brain's doing. I'm going to decide to make living my life more important than fixing my life. I'm going to decide to treat myself kindly, with compassion. Maybe I'll decide to set some boundaries with people if there's some people in my life who really have been pushing the wrong buttons more than once. What other decisions do you need to make? Comment below. But live your life. Make living your life more important than fixing it. Now, does that mean you just go running out the door and doing everything you've ever wanted to do? Well, you probably want to ease into it a little bit. But just make sure that if you do stuff like that and you start living your life more, if the symptoms show up, that's when you don't panic. Make a decision not to panic. Don't blame yourself for doing too much. Oh, I was so stupid. I can't believe I did too much. Don't blame yourself. Don't do any of that. Make a decision to say, oh, look at that. See what happened? I did more and my brain was a little bit scared of it. So it turned up the symptoms. And make a decision to respond calmly. And you may find that when you respond calmly and reassuringly to symptoms, even when they're going up, they go down a lot quicker. So, what decisions do you need to make? In this world, in Dan's world, the pain-free you world, and in life, what decisions do you need to make? Really important stuff. So, love you. I'm going to wrap this one up, and we'll see you tomorrow. Make a decision. Darn it. See you tomorrow. Love you.